Tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade, Collier Training and Transition Airport alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history.
Conveniently, her cross isn't visible as she talks about how, maybe some of these migrants are gonna get eaten by alligators. But anyway, forget about that. Let me tell you how amazing our concentration camps are. They're the best, they have it all. And I really hope the media goes down to hang out with Byron Donalds and Donald Trump at our concentration camps. Hey, anybody remember when Republicans were constantly worried about camps being set up? Nobody cares about that anymore. So anyway, Donald Trump is going. And they're fast tracking this thing. I mean, hell, the a-hole in Florida was pitching this thing like a week and a half ago. They're already christening it. And so Ron DeSantis is gonna meet him there. They've been able to patch things up over their shared interest in seeing migrants being eaten by reptiles. And it's all very exciting. Ron DeSantis says when the president comes tomorrow, he's going to be able to see what happens is you'll bring people in there. They ain't going anywhere once they're there unless you want them to go somewhere, because good luck getting to civilization. Like he wants to tiptoe around the alligator thing because he's not quite as deranged as some of them, but he wants to hint that maybe they'll be eaten in the swamp by a lizard. So the security is amazing, natural and otherwise. Again, every single one of them would tell you they're devoted Christians. Oh boy, do they love Jimmy Christ. But this is the way they're talking. This is what they're doing, spending this massive amount of money. You know what else I noticed from the Karoline Leavitt thing? It used to be enough for them in terms of propaganda to just throw illegal alien. Now they cannot say it without criminal. They have to say criminal illegal alien because they want to maintain the fiction that the people that are going to be in Alligator Auschwitz or whatever it is that they're setting up down there are all murderers and thieves and they destroy things. No, they didn't have their paperwork. And maybe they'll be eaten by a reptile. That's what they're actually pushing for here. So here's a little bit more of Donald Trump talking directly about this.
The idea that it's some illegal immigrants that they just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're gonna teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line, run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%, okay? Not a good thing.
Sometimes on the show, I realize that there's things I probably shouldn't say. Watching that clip, there's a lot of things that I'd like to say, but I probably shouldn't. Because we're held to certain standards that a lot of other people on shows and streams and stuff aren't podcasts. But I'm thinking things. You thinking things? That's the president of the United States. Fantasizing. In fact, he's riffing about how if you're being chased by an alligator, high school science teacher that didn't fill out a piece of paper 8 years ago, and so now you're being deported, you should probably zigzag. Maybe then you'll last a little bit longer before you're eaten by a reptile. Isn't that funny? Snakes are fast, but alligators, you gotta zigzag before you're killed by them. I love Jesus. Bibles are great. They're the best. I love the Old Testament, I like the New Testament, and I think that migrants should be eaten by alligators. That's what I think. And he's been pushing this, of course, for a very long. It's actually, in hindsight, a little bit ridiculous that it took him this long to get to this point. Because remember when he was truth socialing this back in 2023, and you can see the memes. You see, we'll put them on the whole border, and they'll eat those people. If a mom from Guatemala flees domestic violence and crosses all the way to our border and tries to get across into America to work laboriously for decades to make a better life for her kids? Wouldn't it be great if she was eaten by a lizard? You know that thing? That's what he was doing. And they talked about doing a moat on the other side of the wall and everything. And it just took this long. And now they're super excited. And by the way, this is the sort of story where we're pointing this out, not because we think like, oh, if only MAGA sees what they're doing, then they'll agree with us. No, there may be some things about corruption or whatever. In this case, no, they're doing this specifically because they believe, nay, they know that there are tens of millions of Americans that cannot wait for these migrants to be eaten. They can't I just want to see them be murdered. I just want to see them be eaten by an animal. He could set up the Coliseum and have them eaten by lions live on Fox News. Fox News would do it and they would cheer it. That's the country we live in. I don't have a solution to that right now, but we need to understand it if we're going to eventually fight back against it.